Hello, lovely you. My name is Rama, and let's talk about being gentle with yourself. I'm going to talk about two areas, and that is why it's important to be gentle with yourself, and secondly, ways in which to be gentle with yourself. So let's get started. So, what I just want to address first and foremost is what I've seen again and again with clients and people around me is this beating up on yourself, not being willing to be gentle when things don't always work out the way that you wanted, or when you didn't quite behave the way you would have liked to have behaved. Then there seems to be this I should have known better, I should have done better. And what I want to say to you is no. How could you? You're only human. And the reason I think that you beat yourself up when things don't quite work out is because it was really important for you. And so, right there, the reason to be gentle with yourself is so clear. If something is really important for you and you didn't quite manage the situation as you would have liked, then I can understand the disappointment you might feel with yourself. And yet nothing is going to get better if you beat yourself up. In fact, it will only get worse. And so if you can, in those moments, catch yourself and be honest and open, it's like an acknowledgement. Once you say, oh, and then be gentle with yourself. It's as if you acknowledge, yes, this was important. It didn't quite work out the way I would have liked. I want to do better. And right now I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to be gentle with myself. There seems to be a tendency in the societies we live that once we've set some goals, that we must do everything to reach them. We must keep striving until we've reached them. We mustn't stop. And here's my take on it. If on your way you get tired, or you know that you might need to push the deadline for something, then I actually think that you will get there faster if you take a moment to be gentle with yourself. And here, let me just say, being gentle with yourself could be as simple as allowing yourself to take a decent lunch break, going outside when the sun is shining and giving yourself permission to sit there and receive the comfort and the healing that comes from sitting in the sun. It could be going to bed earlier. It could be not staying up working late to complete an assignment, knowing that if you rest now, you can come back to it in the morning and finish it with a fresher self. Because when we're willing to be gentle with the people in our lives and the people around us and not with ourselves, what happens is over time a bitterness builds up. Because it's an imbalance. It doesn't work to be kind and generous with the people around you and not give yourself the same nourishing, kind words. And you know this. Sometimes if someone has screwed up, let's say, you can be a really good friend and say to them, oh, I understand you. Yes. Don't beat yourself up. And yet you might not be willing to say the same words to yourself. Do you hear and see the imbalance of that? But when something is really important to us and we don't get to work we don't get to have it work out as we would have liked, then I understand this tendency to want to beat yourself up. I want to give you a good example here. So I have a young daughter, and especially when she was younger, I would have a tendency to lose my patience. And every time I did that, of course, I didn't feel good about myself. And she certainly didn't feel good and would certainly let me know. And that always left me with a feeling of, oh, I should know better. I should know better. How come I keep finding myself in this same situation and getting impatient with her? And then I started to be gentler with myself. I started to understand that sometimes it was okay to be impatient, and sometimes it's okay to let it go, for me to let it go. And the more times I was gentler with myself, somehow the easier it became to be patient with her. Now, this has been a long process for me, and a really important one I hope you can hear. But without this element of being willing to be gentle with myself, I don't think that I could have resolved this place of being impatient with her. Because when we don't act the way we would have liked, or when we don't quite reach a goal we were going for, it's normally because there's something inside us that needs healing, that needs attention, that wants some kindness. It wants to be acknowledged. And being gentle with yourself is a way of doing that. And it's a longer process. So absolutely, I would recommend that once you know there's something that's ongoing here and it keeps coming back, then I would say to you, please find a professional to work with, because they will first and foremost be gentle with you. And you need that when you're trying to change a behavior in your life. You need someone to be gentle with you. And secondly, they will help you, guide you, teach you to be gentler with yourself. And they will acknowledge you the times that you have succeeded. And probably those times that you've succeeded are more times than you've recognized in yourself. And that helps us grow, it helps us heal. So the next time you find yourself beating yourself up for something that didn't quite work out the way you would have liked it to, because you should have known better, or because there's some high expectation you've set for yourself, take a moment and just do this. You don't even have to have any words. It brings you back to yourself, and it brings you back to knowing and remembering that you are in fact human, and as humans we are going to make mistakes. Everything you need is within you. Thank you.